Hello and welcome to Old World Tech Fridays. I
Happy
am
Friday.
Frodo Jedi, and I'm joined by my co-host Ryan of Everything's Broken Garage, and Trina of Trina's Technobabble.
Wait a minute. That's not Trina.
Trina looks different every week.
Yeah, that's weird.
Gutbomb joined us this evening. Hello, Gutbomb.
Frank S.
Woo!
Yes, and Garth Beagle are in the chat. So
Yes,
there we go.
yes. A lot going on this week, including Cocoa Fest out in Chicago this weekend. So I know I saw a couple people that normally either are on the stream or in the chat and whatnot that are out there.
Yep.
So wish them a fun, exciting weekend.
And there appears to be one Canadian missing from Canada. I was wondering why it was so quiet here this week.
That's true.
Who's also down in Chicago, so that's exciting. So
we all verified Frederick is still alive. We saw him on camera this afternoon.
Yeah.
He looks a little dehydrated though.
He does.
Yeah. He's been getting a lot of exercise lately.
A lot of cardio.
Yeah.
A lot of cardio.
Yeah, a lot of cardio, yeah. Man his age.
That's right. A lot of cardio. Stress test. Cardio stress test, you know.
Yeah.
Chat today. Let's see. What do
We've got Frank S, Garth Beagle, Rudy from Rudy's Retro Intel.
Hey, Rudy.
We have a Retro Techie.
Hey, Retro Techie.
We have a Retro Tech Chris. Hello, Chris. Long time no speak. I believe Chris is doing the Bachelor Life this weekend, if memory serves. So he's that's probably why he's here. He's got nothing else to do this evening.
Sometimes it's good to have nothing to do.
It is. It's well, I mean, it's nice of you to join us. So make sure you hit that like button.
Ryan, read your Discord.
Read my Discord.
Rudy sent you something.
Oh, what did Rudy send me?
Did you get my text?
He sent you something rude.
Oh, is it about the cell phone holders? Yeah, sure. Don't worry about it, Rudy. I'll send them to you. No big deal.
Did you get my text?
Your text? You sent me a text?
Yep, just a text. Moments ago.
Okay, very good. Yep. No, I will be sure to not talk.
So, I got something cool this week. I know I sent pictures. Ryan and Gutbomb saw what it is.
I did.
Let me see.
It's very currently appropriate.
It is. Let me see how to bring it up on here. Hang on a second. Give me 1 second. I think I sent it on Discord, right?
Why don't you just go pick it up? It's right behind you.
What are you talking about, Thomas Armstrong? I'm right here.
Oh, no. That wasn't the thing I was talking about. I did get a Coco 3. It came in today's mail. So just in time for Coco Fest.
Yep.
So yes, that's what you were talking about, right?
No, I was talking about the other thing.
Oh, the other thing. Which other thing? I got lots of things. Which one?
The one sponsored by an evil corporation. Not Amstrad. Sponsored by an evil corporation.
Amstrad
dropped the
was
bomb.
pretty evil.
It's heavy. Oh my gosh, it's heavy.
Yeah, that's the one. It's a Vault-Tec computer.
Bethesda.
Very cool. I love it.
It is cool, but it is extremely heavy. Oh my gosh.
Well, Speaking I mean, it is made of plutonium.
I did get my Amstrad 386 portable laptop today. Or yesterday.
I cannot wait. I am going to challenge Frank to go to Starbucks and get on the internet.
It does work. It does work. But yeah, who needs the gym when you own retro computers? Holy crap! Some of these are extremely heavy. But anyway, I got a Commodore phone, a rotary Commodore phone.
Yes, that's correct. Oh, that's what you're talking about. Sorry. So you can now
got
keep
that
up
for
with the
me,
Commodores.
right?
That's right.
You got that one
Everybody
for me, right?
You know what's funny? It's like I wasn't actually looking for it. I was looking at a saved seller that I had on eBay that I had bought some other stuff from. And just literally scrolling through the listings, I was like, oh my God, no. I was like, that is crazy. Buy it now. Instantly. Because they are very far and few and in between.
Well, down your way, they were fairly popular here.
Yeah.
But
well, I bought it from Canada. But
Correct.
Even then, like if you're searching on the used market,
you can't find them anymore.
You really can't find them.
No, they show up every now and then. Like I found mine in an antique store. that just had a bunch of phones, and there happened to be a Commodore one.
I'm next on your list, right, Ryan?
You are definitely on my list. Actually, it's funny. My wife asked me specifically to go antiquing this summer when I'm off for my vacation. So we are going to travel and do a couple of antique stores in the, within a sort of 4 or 5 hour drive. And yeah, you're on my list.
See Chris's message?
Yeah. Geek was always wanted a Commodore for. Maybe they work in prison. No, they're not clear. See,
they're not clear. So yeah.
Yeah.
Not clear.
And it'd be very hard to hide that in your prison pouch.
It would be.
I'm hoping that I got bumped ahead on the list one person.
Obviously.
Definitely, 100%.
Obviously. Man, I love that 4D Mac you have there. It's like the picture just hops right out at you, Ryan.
Which one?
The one with the keyboard there.
The one that has the keyboard as your desktop wallpaper.
Yeah, that's very vintage. I love it.
It's great, yes. I got very
Rudy
angry.
says they made a clear one.
Oh, they made a clear No, they made a clear Nortel phone, but it wasn't. Now, in fairness, the Commodore is literally just a silk screen, so you could technically buy a prison Nortel and just silk screen.
Don't give away the magic.
Oh, sorry,
it's a Commodore phone.
Sorry, I let the sauce. Everybody knows how the
sausage
is made. It's
not like a genie. You can't just rub it and something comes out.
That has totally different meaning in the prison, but okay.
I'll take your word for it.
So, I see that Steve Mac 84 is here. Hi, Steve.
Yep.
You survived your garage, I guess, and didn't get crushed by all those bicycles. That's good.
Trying to think of what else. So I got the Vault-Tec computer. I've got the 386 portable, which is extremely heavy. The Amstrad CPC came. The Coco 3 came. Oh, yeah. Another British computer came. The RISC PC 700.
Ah, yes, with I believe it has the DOS card installed, correct?
Yep, it's got a 486 card in it as well. Well, they call it a podule.
Right.
Podules. I think they just mash. I think they're just fans of MASH, and they were trying to say Padre. But, they got Podule, so I mean. That's
I was thinking the Porgs from.
Oh
Star Wars.
Yeah, it could be too.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Gut Bomb has 2 of my Acorn computers in for repair.
What's wrong with them?
So they
need recap and cleaning.
Are you going to do like a transformer swap on them to make them 110?
I'm trying to get him to convince me to do that.
Yeah, he's going to do it.
I think you should do that.
Anyone have an Atari PC-1? Hey, Thomas. I think if anybody, Sloopy might.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw one on eBay not long ago, honestly.
Oh, Joe's here. Hi, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
He snuck in. I missed Joe. He snuck in.
Steve says I have 1 Atari and 1 PC.
There you go. That makes sense.
If sex ed at a Catholic school has taught me anything, you put both of those in the room and you marry them, you'll probably get an Atari 1 PC.
But they have to attest that they'll raise their children Catholic, though.
Correct.
That is a requirement.
Yeah. Correct.
That is a requirement.
That's Catholic spelled K-A-T-L-I-C-K.
That's right. Let's see. This day in tech history.
Oh, hold on. You can't say that before I got the branding done. Hold on. Jeez. There we go.
Oh, no. It's April 26th, 1999, and the first known virus to target the flash BIOS of a PC, the CHI Chernobyl virus, triggered payload on this day, erasing hard drives and disabling PCs primarily in Asia and Europe, one of the most destructive viruses in history at the time. It's estimated that 60 billion PCs were infected worldwide, causing $1 billion in damages. So the math doesn't add up. If it affected 60 billion PCs, causing an estimated 1 billion in damages, the math just isn't adding up here.
Doesn't sound like it was very good at what it did.
Most of the infections didn't have any monetary damage, I suppose.
Apparently not.
Or they were propagation infections, like they were after a bigger pie.
Yeah, because it says the virus had been created exactly 1 year earlier on April 26, 1998 by Taiwanese students and set trigger its destructive payload exactly 1 year later. It began to spread in the wild and was first discovered in June of 98, giving the name CIH due to the author's initials discovered in the virus's code. From this time forward, it was reported that a variety of companies accidentally distributed the virus through various downloads, updates, and CDs. When the virus triggered on this date, it just happened to coincide with the date of the Chernobyl disaster in 1986, and therefore the press began to call it the Chernobyl virus, even though there's never been any evidence to show that the date was chosen intentionally for this reason. Here was a good one. Buried ET cartridges discovered by archaeologists, April 26, 2014. As part of the filming of the documentary Atari Game Over, a team of archaeologists at a landfill in Alamogordo, New Mexico, uncover the site of an estimated 700,000 Atari 2600 cartridges buried in 1983, including copies of E.T. the Extraterrestrial, one of the most famous commercial failures in video game history. Since 1983, when it was first reported that the Atari had dumped excess copies of the unsold cartridges, the event had become a type of urban legend, with the details of the games, other equipment, and quantities dumped varying according to who was telling the story. It also became a symbolic event of the video game crash of 1983, where home video game revenues fell by nearly 97% over a 2-year period.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Did they not produce more ET cartridges than they actually sold Atari machines? Isn't that how the story goes? Like they grossly overproduced them?
That's what I was thinking too. The same archaeologists need to go to that landfill and dig up the leases then and see what's left.
For those families that have multiple kids and they don't want to share their video game cartridges, so they each get their own copy.
That sounds pretty bougie there, Gut Bomb.
That's right. April 27th, 1981, Xerox introduces the Xerox Star 8010 Star Information System, the first commercial system utilizing a computer mouse, among other now commonplace technologies. The 8010 was geared toward business and was not a very commercial success at all. Therefore, the mouse remained in relative obscurity until the Apple Lisa, but more prominently, the Apple Macintosh brought the mouse into the mainstream. Justice Department blocks Microsoft's purchase of Intuit, and that was April 27th, 1995. The U.S. Justice Department sues Microsoft to block its acquisition of Intuit Inc. In October of 94, Microsoft and Intuit had agreed to a $1.5 billion stock swap where Microsoft would acquire the maker of popular Quicken personal finance software. It would have been the largest software company merger in history at the time. Let's see. April 28th, 2003, Apple Computers launched the iTunes Music Store. The store sells music for 99 cents a song for use with the iPod and iTunes software. Let's see. Sprechen Sie Sassy? April 29th, 2004, the Sasser worm is released into the wild, affecting over 1 million Windows XP and Windows 2000 computers worldwide. Although the worm did not have an intentionally destructive payload, it caused many computers to slow down or crash and reboot repeatedly, along with clogging up network traffic. Among the victims of the worm, the British Coast Guard had to resort to paper maps for a day. A French news agency lost data for hours. Delta Airlines had to delay or cancel many flights. The University of Missouri had to disconnect its networks from the internet. Looks like 1 million PC users stepped in a big pile of sassy. I have no idea why it keeps saying sassy. So yeah, I don't know. It's just what the article says. April 30th, 1993, the World Wide Web made a public domain. At the urging of Tim Berners-Lee, the creator of the World Wide Web protocol, the directors of CERN released the source code of the World Wide Web into the public domain, making it freely available to anyone without licensing fees. The decision to make the World Wide Web software and protocols freely available is considered by some as possibly the single most important mode in history. Let's see. GPS gets less selective May 1st, 2000. President Bill Clinton releases a statement announcing that the U.S. government will remove selective availability from its global positioning systems at midnight. improving the accuracy of civilian GPS devices from 100 meters down to 20 meters. Originally created to impede hostile forces from taking advantage of the GPS system, pressure mounted from many areas to eliminate selective availability and make GPS more accurate for civilian purposes. Initially set to be disabled in sometime of 2006, it happened on this day 6 years earlier than planned because the U.S. military had developed a new method of denying GPS to hostile forces in specific areas without affecting the rest of the world or its own systems.
Yep. They currently use that daily, and their allies. You get GPS jammers.
May 2nd, 1983, Microsoft introduces the Microsoft Mouse for IBM and IBM compatible PCs. The mouse featured 2 green buttons and is available by itself or later bundled with new Microsoft Word software, which Microsoft will release in September of that year. Let's see. Finally, the last one, Microsoft registers their domain name. May 2nd, 1991. Microsoft registers the Microsoft.com domain name. For such a major technology company, notably, this was 6 years after the domain name system was created, and the first domain name registered in over 4 years after the competitor Apple registered Apple.com. I guess it's not a surprise that Microsoft took an extra 4 years to recognize the importance of the internet.
Well,
And that's this day in tech history.
Awesome.
So, what's everybody else got going on?
Well, I think Gutbomb appears to be building something, and I'm not 100% sure what it is he's building. So maybe he'd like to talk about what it is he's doing.
It's
I don't want to talk about it.
It has to do with Christmas lights. I could see one flashing there.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. It's nobody cares about this stuff.
Yeah. It's not like it's a cool modern replacement for an old sound card that's very expensive.
Yeah, I'm building PicoGus cards for for Joe's Computer Museum. These will be on sale very shortly in the jcm-1.com store. And
awesome.
Wait.
I have a ton in this box, more over there, and another box underneath this one.
Hey, Gutbomb, Action Retro likes your shirt.
Thank you.
That's exciting. And so JCM-1, which we should probably throw a little banner up here so that we have that go across the bottom there. That's exciting. So you're building a bunch of them, and if I'm not, and correct me if I'm wrong, but is the PicoGus not going to be out on some sort of announcement with a big magazine or something, or am I not supposed to talk about that?
I think that's public already. There's an article about the PicoGus in Make magazine out of the UK.
That is pretty impressive,
and it's on the cover.
Now,
they made the cover. Wow.
From what I understand, the PicoGus emulates the Gravis Ultrasound, the Sound Blaster / the AdLib, the CMS, the Tandy 3 Voice, the MPU-401, and joystick.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You can plug in a modern Xbox controller to this USB port, and your old DOS games will see it as if it's a game port joystick.
That's amazing. But can I plug my Gravis gamepad into it?
If you use an adapter, it still won't work. No.
See, if you had the jcm-1.com, as of right now, it looks like these are on sale for $45 a piece, but not available yet. You have to get on the mailing list.
Yeah, there's a wait list.
But that's pretty darn cheap for what you get. I think that's extremely reasonable.
The last ultrasound that I saw for sale on eBay, I think was with a box was $1,000.
Oh yeah,
loose cards were going for between $300 and $400.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a tenth of the price of a used.
I also want to say that this isn't just a sound card. It's really freaking cool. And the Gravis Ultrasound is old now at this point, and back then there weren't so many. They weren't so careful about noise getting into sound. You're going to get a much cleaner sound out of this card than you could ever get from a real Gravis Ultrasound. Also,
This is like a Bose quality sound.
Yeah.
On an XT card.
I've been so excited to get a hold of one of these, and I've tried, and they sold out before I could get them every time. So I'm really glad that I got to build these, because now I can definitely have one.
Now that y'all are tuned in tonight, we are going to sell these cards right here live for 4 easy payments of $99.95. I'm telling you, folks, this is a deal.
But wait, there's more.
Wait, there is more.
Don't get me in trouble, Frank.
If you buy one now at 4 easy payments of $99.95, we will throw in an extra Gravis card just for postage and handling, folks. Just for postage and handling. Now, our operators are standing by, and this is a limited run.
And they're using their Commodore phones to answer these calls. So please.
So please be patient.
Yeah.
Now, Joe says there's currently 97 folks on the wait list for this. So y'all want to get out there and go to jcm-1.com and sign up for the wait list if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Because these will be available soon. And once they're
going to sell really quickly,
they're going to go back into the Disney vault.
Right.
And then they won't be released until they're platinum.
So then I have a question for Ian.
There you go. Buy 3 and we'll throw in a ShamWow and a Scrub Daddy.
And
I'll even give you some OxyClean.
And some Flex Seal.
Yeah, they're going back into the Pico vault.
So I got a question for Ian.
This is an awesome
slap chop.
Slap chop. There you go.
Didn't that guy go to prison?
If you pay 6 payments of $99.95, we'll throw in a Ronco rotisserie. You just set it and forget it.
He went to jail for a little while, but he's long since out.
Okay. No, I have a question for Ian. Being I'm from Canada land and borders make things difficult. Can we expect a Canadian reseller of Pico Gus in the future? If you're allowed to say yes or no, or be completely, secretive about it. But yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Steve's got it right. Ron's Comp rotisserie oven. Limited edition. Every time you open the door, it says, "This is Ron from Ron's Computer."
Close the door. You're letting all the heat out.
That's right. Close the door. You're letting all the heat out. Haven't talked to anyone about Canada about selling it there yet.
Okay, well.
But anyway, in all seriousness, like, this is a pretty awesome product, and especially at $45. Like,
yeah,
that's
amazing.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Now, Ian, you can, I guess you can also answer a question. I'm going to be at VCF Midwest in September. Will I be able to purchase them there? Are you guys going to have a presence or a table or something along those lines? I would assume. Apparently, Mac84, Steve is about to shove a Pico Gus in a HP Vectra.
You have to install Windows Millennium Edition for that to work properly. He got his at VCF Midwest. But I think so. These are V2. I think the other ones were V1, correct? The ones from last year. I don't know if that's
I think so
correct or not. I'm pretty sure that this is a revision.
So I'm going to try to get a table at VCF and sell them there. Perfect. I will buy several while I am in your great country.
Well, I was going to say, like, anybody that's serious about retro computing needs to buy more than one, because it's good to have on hand. I mean, you don't want to be yanking this thing out of one machine and pop it in another every time you want to fire up a machine. So at $45, you might as well get at least, I don't know, probably 4.
Sure.
I would say. Good to have on hand.
Well, it's kind of like my Blue Scuzzy. Once I had one, then I realized I needed like 12.
Exactly. Well, actually, this is less than the cost of a Blue Scuzzy.
Right.
So yes.
So then the next question is for really weird applications where I have a Windows-based or a PC-based computer and it has SCSI. Can I get some sort of like package deal at jcm-1.com? Can I get some like discount? No? Okay.
I believe there's a coupon code for 1/5 of a percentage off.
Oh, wow. That's that's awesome.
Yep. Limited time.
Perfect. Just fill your PCs full of Picos. Yeah. Oh, that's Joe says, send me a note and we'll chat. Well, there you go. See?
Wait, so
that's Joe is fantastic.
That's how you do it in stereo, folks. You buy a couple of Picos,
Pico
pop them both in there, You hook one to one speaker, one to another speaker, bang, you got stereo sound.
And you watch all the IRQ conflicts.
Enough said. Yes.
Plug
if
and
you
pray.
love blue screens and you want something prior to blue screens, you need some IRQ errors.
Yeah.
On DOS.
On DOS.
That's what you need.
Joe's response: go away.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, Joe said there was 97 on the wait list already. So like I said, if you haven't already, go to jcm-1.com, pull up the Pico guest section and sign up for the wait list, because they are going to be available in short order.
But Ian, if anybody is going to make it explode, it's going to be Steve.
That's true. That's a challenge.
Yeah.
The Pico Gus challenge.
And with an extra added bonus. Extra added bonus, if you order soon from this batch, you get one that's been handled by my grubby fingers.
Ooh,
that's right.
So you get some gut bomb DNA for your own
cloning. That's
right. That's exciting.
Not as good as Leonard Nimoy, but it's up there.
Steve says, "Hold my image writer."
No, Steve. They do not fit in new bus slots.
And anything will fit if you use a hammer.
I was going to say, I think you could probably get it to fit in a new bus slot.
That's probably true.
Oh, that's funny. It's all very exciting. I love this hobby because of all the cool, like, new stuff that's...
Yeah, there's a lot of new stuff coming out.
Right.
Which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the new stuff's better than the old stuff.
Yeah. I mean, like, I have an ad-lib card and and I'm hopefully going to get an actual Gravis ultrasound from a local collector who's trying to unload a bunch of stuff. Mm-hmm. But I'm probably just going to put them in a shadow box and hang them on my office wall with a little description of what they are. Because if they're hidden in the back of a computer, it's cool, but you don't get to look at them and see them. So I'm thinking Pico Gus for the actual usable things, and then I'll put the cool cards on display.
Now, Rudy asks if it'll work in the 2E. Now, it won't work in the 2E, but I'll tell you what will. There is a VGA card on jcm-1.com that'll give you VGA out on your Apple II or your Apple IIe. Or
it's true, it
works for what, 2GS as well? Is it all the 2s?
What, the VGA card?
Hang on, we're asking the underwriters.
I believe it is.
Does it work on all the 2s?
It'll work in the 2GS, but it won't do the double high res or the super high res mode. It will only do the Apple II modes.
There you go. But either way, if you have an Apple IIe, go out and buy one of those VGA cards.
All the 2s, Joe says. All the 2s.
All the 2s. There you go. So you heard it here, folks. All the 2s.
And I like Chris's note. Ryan's Gus will be seen and not heard. Because
if
it's in the shadow box. No, it's in the shadow box.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yep.
I'll be honest. I've wanted a Gravis ultrasound for forever, but I can't afford it because they're just too expensive. And now that this is around, I'd much rather have this than even like a real ultrasound, because this is going to be more reliable and it's so expandable. You can do so much with it.
Well, that's and correct me if I'm wrong. They're adding new profiles all the time. I guess as quickly as Ian and his team can create them, they're added, because previously
it's open source too. Yeah, it's open source too. So like, cool. The sky's the limit.
So I'm thinking we could probably do some really obscure sound cards. I'm just trying to think of something that's obscure. It's not coming to mind.
This is a QVC spot. We're still selling these babies.
Yeah. Listen, the truck came in the back, and we got to empty it before the night's over. So
we got Cash for Gold coming up next.
Yeah. By the way, Gut Bomb, where is your loading dock?
When do we get to the guys yelling about baseball cards? That was always my favorite back in the day.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we got to do the Mad Money first, where we tell you to buy crypto.
Oh, please don't. Please don't buy crypto.
So it's funny. I set up. I'm helping a local shelter with they're building a new homeless shelter, and we were talking about televisions for the rooms, and we were hemming and hawing. We were trying to figure out what we could do for televisions. Anyway, I suggested they use just Android powered TVs, so Google TVs, and we just put like the Pluto app on it and put, YouTube, and if they have Netflix, they can sign into their Netflix and stuff. Anyway, so I've been using Pluto now for a couple of weeks, and I don't know if you guys know about Pluto TV. I think they have it in the States. It's owned by Paramount, and it just basically streams Paramount's back catalog of everything. So it's like Forensic Files, CSI Miami, Judge Judy, all the stuff. You can just turn it on, leave it in the background. It's not bad.
I got a question about this.
Yeah.
Why does Paramount need 2 streaming services? Why can't they just put this on one?
I think it's because
why can't it just be part of Paramount's streaming?
Well, they want double the money.
Well, they don't get any money from Pluto. That's the thing. Well, they do because they run advertisements. No, they run it's like live TV. You can't pause it. Whatever's up there is playing. Basically, they have some on demand, but it's like turning on regular cable television, or over the air TV. But every other ad on it now is crypto, and I think it's the funniest thing in the world.
That's right.
An AI voice.
He's right. One is a tax write-off. So you just transfer your assets, your dead assets, from one company to another.
I imagine it's kind of like how the remember the cell phone providers used to offer those like discounted free phones to like the lower income. It was all a tax write-off for those cell phone companies. I imagine it's something similar.
Probably is.
Anyway, I thought it was pretty neat. So yeah, we're setting up 40. I got to provision and lock down 40 Android televisions.
So Enron used mark-to-market accounting. That was their biggest thing. What they did was they took future revenue projections and put them on the books today.
Yeah.
So like if I was going to...
Why write off tomorrow what you can write off today?
If I was going to do a service contract, with Ryan, and heck, it might be worth $10 million. And we're going to put that on today, even though we haven't got a penny.
Which is funny because technically, at least in Canada, you would have to pay the taxes on that as soon as you put it on the books.
Only if your capital gains are offset by that. So like if you had more to write off and depreciation and shit assets, then you don't owe that much tax.
Fair enough. It's always that.
Yeah, tons of shell companies. So they set up a lot of companies to offload the bad debt to, so that it made their balance sheets look good. But not only that, but they were also trading with themselves to also make the earnings look better than they were.
Yeah, 2 sets of books.
I would say more than 2 sets of books. Yeah, that place was a mess.
I always remember there was an episode of MASH where Charles Emerson Winchester was or maybe it was Frank Burns. I can't. Well, it was one of the two, but they were like, "You show the government the red ledger, not the blue ledger."
Yeah, this turned into a financial advice podcast. So
I told you this is gonna be money. This is gonna be the money where everybody yells. The end. What
was that guy's name? Matt Lesko. Was that the guy that had the crazy thing with the free government grants and money? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I remember.
They used to have commercials everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
And now we're actually going to go to our sponsor, JG Wentworth, 877 cash now.
Get your money. Use it when you need it. Trina says it was Frank Burns when he thought he was dying.
That's it. Yeah.
There you go. So yeah, you print your second set of butts on an image writer.
Actually, we were talking about that the other day. There's a Netflix movie, and I'm trying to remember which. I think it's the one with The Rock in it, but the main villain, who is like this big corporate guy, does all his books on an IBM 5150.
Oh, that's awesome.
That the government can't view them.
Yeah, there was another one, and I don't remember what the TV show I was watching. But essentially, one of the episodes too was they were trying to break into this vault, and it had an old floppy disk. Because new computers don't have a way to read them. So they did all their accounting and saved it on this old media so that people couldn't access it now.
Except now, this is the exact moment when Gutbaum comes back and shows us the cool thing he made this week. Okay, maybe we'll get him to show us later.
He's too busy answering the phones. Yeah, he's our operator standing by.
He's our operator standing by.
And that number is 877 image writer now.
Writer now. Flame. If you got important, you put the
fire.
Yeah. John Wick. Yeah.
That's a good show. I really enjoyed that one. That one's actually a very good show. The movies were fantastic, but if you haven't seen
I
The
haven't seen the John Wick TV show.
pre-show.
Oh, what is it? The
Continental.
Continental. Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
He keeps his on his cape, bro.
We were just saying. They were talking about how one of the plot devices in one of the shows was that new computers can't read floppy disks, and that's how they were gonna. So then I said, but unless they have something like Gut Bomb just made this week, but you were away, so.
Oh yeah, let me get it up.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's got to wash it first. We don't want to bring.
He's got to wash it. I mean, it's very greasy. It's very greasy.
I have been busy greasing my Weasel all week, actually.
Ooh.
Oh, look
this
at
is
that.
just a regular Sony floppy drive, and I designed a little case. I kind of stole some inspiration from Apple, but yeah. And then on the inside, there's a little perf board. Grease Weasel. It's a blue pill with some wiring on it. You can get pre-made boards, but I'm cheap, so I made my own. And I ended up spending more than if I bought a board, but still I had this stuff and it was fun. Anyway, yeah, it's just a regular Sony PC floppy drive, and this will read anything, and you can make images with it using the Grease Weasel software or the Flux engine. And Steve has been helping. Yeah, Steve's been helping keep my Weasel quite greased.
Now, what kind of grease do you use on a Weasel traditionally? Like, are we talking?
Let's talk about it offline, Ryan.
Okay, very good, very good.
Community guidelines and all that.
Right.
So, somewhere in this big mess, I have a Grease Weasel 1.4, I believe it is. So I'll have to dig it out and figure out what I got to do to put it together. I mean, it's already built. I just got to add the parts.
Steve already released the let the secret sauce out about what you grease your Weasel with.
Image writer tears.
Image writer tears.
Now, are those the tears from the image writer itself, or when it falls off the shelf and lands on your foot?
That's the mystery.
Yeah. Are they actually Steve tears?
I could see that as an album cover.
What? Steve's tears?
No, like the face and the
Steve
pose
says,
when
yes.
the image writer falls. Yes, tears for fear. Exactly. Awesome. So what else do you got going on this week? It's been crazy.
Yeah, it has been. I've been building, and not to steal Big Bad Biologist's term, but I have also been building an abomination this week. Yeah, I was gifted about 3 or 4 years ago by a friend of mine, an Alienware Area 51R2. So this was premium Alienware computer from about 2015, 2014. It came with an i7 processor, 7th gen or 8th gen, I can't remember.
If it was 2015, it would be more like 4th or 5th gen.
4th or 5th gen, sure, yeah. Yeah, because it's year, right? So 5, 15 be the 5th gen. That makes sense. Anyway, it didn't come with the CPU. It didn't come with a hard drive or any of the graphics cards. It would have had 3 SLI'd like 9 NVIDIA like 990s, 980s. I don't know my graphics card. This is where I need Tech Ambrosia's assistance. Anyway, I said, so when it arrived me, it just had the main motherboard, which I have here, just still in a pile. Which I don't know if it actually works, because if it does, apparently they're fairly valuable.
So I have an Aurora R8.
Yeah.
And the original motherboard died. The replacement motherboard died.
Do you want
I have
this one?
Brand new case. No, I'm just saying I have a case if you need a case. No,
so basically I think Alienware computers are really weird, and not to say they're stupid, but I would never spend this money on a pre-built. If that makes sense.
They were pretty decent when
I think they're stupid.
Them, but then once Dell got them and started using
so after 2005, 2006, they all kind of. But at the same time, after that point, you could have bought an XPS, which is essentially the Alienware for a third the price. Or
I got this one last year, this Alienware, and I haven't even pulled the plastic off of it yet.
Well, it's funny you should say that, because the person who had this before me also didn't pull the plastic off it. So I had the satisfaction of pulling the plastic off it. But so I did the right thing, and I said, I want to build a reverse sleeper.
Awesome.
So I came, I'm just unplugging it here. In 2 seconds. I came across a few cool vintage machines the other day, which I'm actually going to show one off because it relates to Gut Bomb. So bear with me. It's not light. this is the case, and so I did the right thing. I put a socket 7 board in it. It's running at
that is the right thing.
Yeah, of course. It's running a Cirrus Logic. No, not Cirrus Logic. Cyrex IBM CPU. It's a 233. It's actually, I have 2 of them. This is the other one.
The 6x86, right?
Yeah, the 6x86. It's got 128 megs of RAM. It's running an ATI ATI All-in-Wonder Rage 128, I think it is. And it has a Sound Blaster 16. So the plan is to build this into the ultimate DOS Windows 98 sort of gaming PC. And yeah, just kind of confuse people when they see it at conventions going, that's not retro. Actually, it is.
I have this Alienware laptop. It's a few years old. It works really well.
Yeah.
And then I have a new Alienware laptop in the house.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's not.
And then I also have this one behind me, which is a oh god, I can't remember the designation.
Is that an Aurora R5?
I think it's an Aurora, yeah. Anyway, so the plan for this guy
door, that's awesome.
Yeah, the plan for this guy is to maybe do a 486.
That'd be cool.
I might do an actual AT, like in a
yeah,
maybe a 286, but I have enough parts that I could probably hodgepodge something together. Anyway, the neat thing is I plan on also this is a slot mounted it is a Blu-ray player. As a slot-mounted Blu-ray player in the front of the Area 51.
Cool.
So using a series of questionable adapters, I'm going to attach that to the computer as well. So it'll be a functional DVD CD-ROM drive. I'm not going to get Blu-rays to work, obviously, but, maybe.
Well, not with an AT computer.
No, but with this is the Area 51, so this has got the Pentium 2. So we'll see. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I've been playing with, and actually, I have a video going to come out, probably a short of me setting this on fire the other night during our Discord discussion.
Yeah, why don't you tell us the story about that?
So, I'm no electrical engineer, and I don't play one on television, but I just assumed, and again, when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me, that the power button is just a simple power switch. So I figured I could just wire it up with a standard, powered cable.
Not on those.
No, this actually has a daughter board that where's it gone? Yep. So here it is. So this is actually the thing that turns the computer on. And so I put voltage to the power switch and then attached it to the.
Did you pull a Javier and do 12 volts to ground?
We don't know what I did.
he did.
And then I plug this into the power switch, which is not an AT power. It's an ATX power switch on the motherboard, and then press the on button. And I let out the magic smoke, but it didn't damage anything other than the cable decided to, become all crispy.
Well, and it's funny because he did it, and then he did it with a higher gauge wire, and it just melted faster.
Yeah. So, long story short, Alienware apparently built some very durable PCBs for their power buttons.
That is true. Dell was great before Dell because I can remember one time, company I worked for had crap tons of Dells, and we had signed up for their self-repair service, the Dell self-repair crap, where you do the little online courses, and then they'll send you the parts in the mail, and then you just change it yourself under warranty.
Yep.
They had so many computers with bad hard drives right out of the gate, like they knew it, but it was cheaper to ship replacements later than to pull them all off, open them up, and replace the drives. Yep. So we got a whole entire batch, like 40-some computers. Every one of them, the hard drive was crap. Like literally none of them booted. And they're like, oh yeah, they really didn't ask any questions. They're like, yeah, we're going to send you out those new drives. Ask what they had imaged on them. Yep, no problem. Mail them right out. So yeah, it was cheaper for them to just mail them out later.
That's
after
funny.
People got them than to pull them apart.
Well, that's the funny thing. This Area 51 has I thought it was 1,000 watt, but it's not. It's actually an 850 watt power supply.
I was going to say 8 or 850 usually, yeah.
Yeah, so I have an 850 watt power supply running a Pentium 2. So
nice.
And Ryan,
I
how
don't think
big
I'll
were the
probably-
power supplies of the Pentium 2 Day?
I think the one that I pulled out of the other computer is
Probably 200.
230 watts, I believe.
There you go.
So what I'm saying is I have a lot of overhead for mechanical drives.
Shenanigans.
For that Blu-ray player.
For that Blu-ray player. There you go.
That's what it's for. For that
We're gonna
Blu-ray
need-
player. I knew it.
Hey, with that much power, maybe you can get it to play Blu-rays on Windows
right.
95.
Yeah, just overclock the shit out of it.
It's
It
got the
plays
power.
1 second of Blu-ray and then catches fire. It's good times.
You can
but
use
yeah.
all that juice to power the fans.
Well, that's the thing too. It has 120 mil fans, and they are loud when they engage.
Yeah.
So they're not currently plugged in.
The cases had really cool RGB and stuff, but it's proprietary on that other board as well.
Yeah. So I
Control it
probably
for
am just to make it cheap and dirty. I might just throw some strip LED light inside and just put like a controller. So that's the other thing is where it's an AT/ATX board. It's got nothing really in the IO shield area.
Oh, that's
right.
awesome.
So all there is the AT keyboard connector.
Sweet.
So I 3D printed a bunch of IO plates.
See you, Rudy.
And so my plan is I'm just going to put a power button here and maybe like a controller for some RGB.
That's awesome.
And yeah, it should be fairly straightforward. The thing weighs like with nothing in it. There are no hard drives. It just has that motherboard in it. And it's probably 35, 40 pounds. Like it's pretty heavy.
Yeah. Those cases are hefty.
So I can only imagine what it was like when it had its two 1 terabyte drives in it, its SSD, and its 3 graphics cards. It must have been quite stout. So yeah, good night, Rudy. I enjoy work. I'm sorry you have to go to work on a Friday night.
Rudy. Good.
Yeah, so that's what I've been working on this week. And then if you guys aren't in our Discord, I finally took the bamboo out of the wrapper at work, the bamboo printer. So I was playing with that all afternoon. That was been a bit of fun. So I'm very excited to start printing some stuff with that, and also start using it for teaching. The kids, my students, are very excited. And my other co-teachers are very excited to start working on it. We're doing mousetrap cars. So the kids are really excited to start 3D printing their mousetrap cars so they can actually start not just visualizing them in CAD. They're actually going to be able to use them.
X1 Carbon is a great printer, and it's one of the very few printers that you don't have to print your first prints as parts for the printer.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the thing I like about it is, and I've said this before, and I know Joe has said it too, and I'm sure everybody here, I'm sure even Gutbomb has said it. It's a refrigerator. It's literally you plug it in and it just does what it's supposed to do. There's no calibrating. There's no.
When I wasn't using it all the time and I had it upstairs, I would just put a plate of food in there to keep it warm.
Right.
Because I wasn't printing. So yeah, you open the cabinet, you just put your plate in there, close the cabinet. That way nothing's getting in there, no bugs, no nothing.
Yeah. But we have the full AMS, which I'm really excited about. The fact that I can do multiple.
Well worth it.
So actually, I'll ask because I don't know. It still says I can use the 5th AM. I can still use the back mount for a spool.
I've never figured out how to use it.
Yeah.
So you can have all of them at once.
Yeah, I was like, I need another tube or something. Like I don't understand, but it says in the instructions you can use all 5.
Now mine came with extra tubes and stuff as part of the kit.
Mine did too, but I thought it was just replacement tubes for the AMS.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't see any Ys or anything, so I don't know how.
I used the AMS, but I only used the 4 spools. I don't.
Right.
As far as I know, you can do 4 or 1. So you can use the AMS or the external. So you can have a total of 5 choices, but you can only do 4 or 1.
Yep. You need to do some digital things for some extra thing.
Yeah, Joe maybe knows better than me.
Gotcha.
And you can't use the extra thing in combination with the AMS. So it's AMS or not.
Yeah.
So if I want,
what I mean. Yeah.
So if I want more than 4 and I want to use the AMS, I have to buy another AMS.
Yes.
Because you can basically change 4 AMSs.
The AMS has the feeders that actually pull the AMS or the filament back. Where if you had the spool roll, it won't do that.
Right.
So yeah, you couldn't switch.
And on top of that, like Joe was suggested to me today, the AMS is got built-in desiccant storage.
Yes.
It keeps the humidity low. It tries, so
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever have external spools again, because that's just a liability for bad print jobs.
Now,
AMS,
if you want to print TPU and other sort of more exotic, softer materials, you can't use those in the AMS. So you have to use the external spool for that.
Okay, that's what I was going to ask, because there are like our science teacher, our head of the science department. He wants to do a couple of soft prints for some stuff in the actual lab.
Now, I used silk PLA in mine, and it had no problem printing in the AMS.
Yeah, PLA is fine. TPU is like the rubbery.
Oh, I don't buy that. Yeah, I don't have that.
I'm also excited because it came with the carbon impregnated filament. Like it says it's carbon fiber, but I'm excited to build something and then try to destroy it. So
you should build a submarine since you're in Newfoundland.
Yeah, it's true. I do have a bunch of Logitech controllers I could use.
Yep.
I've got one if you need one too. I have the right model and everything.
That's right.
I think I'm just going to use a Sidewinder because Microsoft. I'll run the whole thing on Windows 2000.
But what if it blue screens?
That's fine. I'll just open the window and look outside.
Just reboot.
Just reboot, yeah. Oh my! But yeah, so that's what I've been working on this week. We've got another retro show coming up in a couple of months, so we've been sort of debriefing over what happened last time and what we need to make better and do better. I've got to build a Windows XP gaming machine for these kid who won our Unreal tournament. He chose Windows XP as his OS of choice, so I'm going to build him I'm going to build him a laptop. It's going to be a beefy sort of Dell workstation with a decent graphics card laptop. So
Dell Precision.
I'm excited about it. I think it's a Precision M something or other.
I'm sorry, that sounds like the most boring retro PC I've ever heard of. A Dell laptop with Windows XP.
Yeah, but
had every business ever.
But if the kid all he wants to play is a bit of Unreal Tournament and a bit of Quake 3, and it'll do it. It'll be fine, right? And he wants to experience, like he does. He was very, I don't know how old he was, but he wasn't old enough to have been around during Windows XP time, so he's never experienced XP besides at the event. So
yeah,
so that's what I've been doing.
Pretty cool.
And then I've also been tearing my hair out because, as you can tell, trying to find. I have an Apple Talk for DOS card, and it's disappeared. So I have to gut this entire garage and find it because it's going to drive me nuts if I don't know where it is.
I have a local Talk for DOS card.
Yeah, that's what I have as well.
Is that the thing Steve was just playing with?
Yes. And I had it, and I was showing it off with my HP Direct local Talk card for my HP printers, and I don't know where it went. It was here on the table. But
is it with the printers?
No, the printer hasn't even come home yet.
I have Tops for the PC.
Okay.
And it's got the software for the local Talk PC card.
See, I think Garth Beagle stole it. Well, when he stole the video card, the diamond video card that I had here, I feel like he just flew up in his helicopter.
So you install this baby in your XT machine.
Yep.
And you put your DB9 dongle that gives you the local Talk. And then you install the software.
Yep.
And
so the one I had was an actual Apple product.
This one is made by
Tops.
Centram Systems West.
Okay.
So it's made by Tops. It has the Tops logo and everything on it.
Yeah. So the one I had was specifically an Apple
dongle.
Well, so the baseball card company
must be. So they have local Talk and they have Apple Talk PC cards. Two different things.
So the one I had a picture of it here.
This one's local Talk.
This is the one that I had. Hold on.
But I've got to flux image this one and put it online because this one is not available online to download the software. Which is why I ended up buying this entire set.
Yeah, well, get your grease weasel up and running and do that.
I know. Yes.
So you should
I've seen those ones. Yep.
This is the one that I had.
Yeah, but I think those are actual Apple Talk ones.
Yeah.
Not Local Talk. Those are better.
Yeah, then they were made by Apple.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I also have some software called Inbox PC, which lets you network between Apple's and PC computers. It has software that you install on an IBM PC XT or AT compatible with at least DOS 3.1 or higher.
Cool.
Then connect any Apple Talk network running Inbox Message Center on a Macintosh, and essentially it lets you attach files and send them to each other in this software between PC and
internal
kind of like
emails.
Lotus. Yes. So you attach whatever file format you want. It doesn't matter the extension, and you can send them back and forth. So it's pre-networking. So it doesn't give you like a directory to choose from. You have to attach what file you want and send it.
Okay.
So I got that to try with this.
Awesome. Just like to say hi to Mark. One of our local guys is here. Mark is actually coming over to my place tomorrow, and I'm going to try to put a socket on his Commodore PET for him, so that he can put in a new controller for his cassette drive.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, so I am talking on this. I didn't realize it. So I thought I was still talking on this. That makes sense now.
Yeah, it's a 6520 replacement. There you go. Cool. So yeah, it's been a busy week here. Lots of cool stuff is in the pipe works. I'm going to pick up a bunch of IDE drives tomorrow, as well as a bunch of SCSI cards, apparently.
Awesome.
The local guy reached out to me, or reached out to our group and said, "Hey, I got all this is going to the dump. Does anybody want it?" And I said, "Of course, I will take it, because I am a hoarder."
That's right.
So, I'm still working. Oh, and Jesus Christ is here, just so everybody's also aware. Yeah.
Welcome back. We're happy for your return, JC.
Yeah, we're happy return. And Retro Techie makes a fantastic point. My SX64 is still sans keyboard. So if anybody knows of an SX64 keyboard, or a way for me to modify an old Commodore 64 to work as an SX64 keyboard, please let me know.
There's got to be something out there.
Yeah. Because
I think you may have to do it through the magic of buying another SX64.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull a Steve, or not a Steve, the guy from the Computer Clan, or not Computer Clan, Technology Connections.
That's the one.
Magic of buying a second one.
Hollywood magic.
So, yeah, I don't think there's anything else that we need to discuss this evening, gentlemen. Is there any last minute words of pearls of advice from our guest Gutbomb / Trina?
Yes, don't buy the Rabbit R1. It's stupid. It's the dumbest product ever invented. It's dumber than the Humane AI pen.
Well, the funnier part is somebody was able to pull the APK file and run it on a regular Android phone, and it works fine. So it's like,
yeah, why aren't these things just apps? It's
stupid. that was the meme that was going around. This product should have been an app, as opposed to this email, or this meeting should have been an email. It was this product should have been an app, So
I don't get what it does. I just googled it because I didn't know what it was, and
it's like another thing you have in your pocket that's like AI, and it answers questions. It's like, but I already have that.
I already have Siri. The hell do I need that?
It also answers the questions poorly and can't do most of the stuff that they said it could do. So,
and it takes forever. Apparently, it's very slow, like super slow.
Well, that's because it probably repeats to everything Alexa or Siri at their office to get the right answers. But anyway, for those of you who are on the Macintosh Friends Discord, find your way over to the Chewing the Fat section, and we will be there live and in color.
Post show. And Nick, I am still working on getting a lawyer guest to discuss what to do with our collections once we jump this mortal coil.
Yes.
So I'm hoping to have somebody in the not too distant future be a guest, and we discuss the ins and outs of setting up trusses and or trusts, I should say, and setting up living wills and that kind of stuff to help us in our community, make sure our stuff doesn't end up in landfills or end up on polka dot websites. So
that's right.
Trusses are also good, especially when you're building yourself a retro shed out in your backyard.
That's right.
Sure, the roof has a truss.
That's
Yeah,
right.
or you've put your back out and you need a truss to keep your innards from popping out. It's
Trust no
also
one.
That too.
perfect.
The truth
Anyway,
is out there.
thank you everybody for joining
Yep.
us this evening.
Have
We
a good
truly
evening.
appreciate you being
Thank you
here.
to our guest, Trina.
Thank you to Trina of Trina's Technobabble, also known as Gut Bomb. And again, we'll make one more announcement. Get your Pico glasses at
That's right.
jcm-1.com. Sign up for the mailing list so you know exactly when they come back in stock. There are 97 people, probably more now, ahead of you. So please get on that list. And for $45, you cannot buy a cooler thing for your retro PC. Buy 4 of them.
Absolutely.
Thank
Have
you,
a good
everyone.
night, all.
Good night.